Hello, this is our official start. I would like to say hello on the next episode of CypherCast. CypherCast organized by Cypherdog Security Incorporation. And my guest in this episode is Michael Konopka, who is a cybersecurity expert. Michael, please tell something about you.
Hi guys, it's great to be here. Thank you for intro, Shamek. And yeah, first of all, I'm the other IT technologist and the security guy with the. I've asked myself how long? More than 20 years. That's kind of scary, showing my gray hairs. Um, I'm currently acting as a CSO on the other Hashwatch and also with doing the services as a virtual CISO. So my general role is to do the strategy for the other small, medium companies in the areas of security and the cybersecurity. That said, yeah, go ahead, Trevor.
Okay, excellent, Michael. Our topic is very interesting, I think. Our topic is from past to present. We will talk about deepfakes, social engineering, and the newest point. This is Chat GPT. And at the beginning, I will ask you easy question. What is business email compromise?
Business email compromise. It's essentially it's what it tells you exactly what it is. It's the other when the other email account, which is intended for a business use, is being compromised by a bad actors, meaning the other cyber criminals, someone who have some interest into compromising your account. What it can be used for, I will have a opportunity to maybe share some thoughts and the other some details of the one attack which I specifically remember, which was very clever, and I would love to share with the audience.
Okay, so could you tell us something about current trends in business email compromise and phishing attacks?
Okay, so the current trends in the other, actually the trends are always on. I will say the other, there is an old saying: the weakest chain in the security is a human being, and unfortunately, this is actually happening all the time. Even where the big enterprises and the companies spending lots of money in the training the employees for phishing, how to spot social engineering, it's still being on a race. And since we already touched the other topics which we're going to discuss with the chat GTP, um, experts believe, I completely agree with them, that it will be even harder, and the next 3 to 6 months we will see increase in their phishing emails. Why? We will discuss this probably in the details later on. But I would like to know, maybe I'm not sure if the audience has a way to vote or doing something, but I would like to find out how many of you already had a chance to use for the personal interest, or just let's call this play with ChatGTP. Maybe if you can just press one in the chat, it will be great to just see how many of you actually use the other chat. There you go. Thank you. So we have at least 2 people on the call who use the chat GTP. Oh, 4. There you go.
I think more.
I'm pretty sure more people. They just shy. Yeah.
Yes, I think the same.
All right, but I will go over also what it is. It's a definitely great technology. So why don't we actually start up, Shemek, with actually I will share a little bit of a history of the other, so the past and the present, and we can talk about future, which will be. I want to actually change slightly order of the conversation. So what I propose in the agenda, we have the other present as a phishing, social engineering, then deepfakes and the ChatGPT. But I would like to actually reverse the other. So present, of course, it's a present, but then ChatGPT, since for us it is already present, it's being used, and then deepfakes. I will also explain what it is and why I personally think this is such a very dangerous threat, emerging threat to the other, to the businesses and to the personal life. So, guys, um, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so we can start as you want, yes, because we are talking about present. We will talk about future. So maybe at the beginning you can give us real examples of business email compromise, maybe from your experience.
Absolutely. So, guys, let's call this ghost from the past. So, I will say that
Okay.
I had a pleasure to work with organization which obviously shall not be named, and the event, those are actual true events. I'm going to just slightly change the certain things, not to give away who was attacked, and so on. So, I would just basically say let's call this in the snowy January 2000 something. In the past, the organization is attacked on the evening with the phishing attack, which expert would call this a double barrel phishing attack. What it is basically a attacker sending first a simple email. Let's, for example, say, "Hi, Michael," or "Hi, Przemysław. I'm sending you a updated version of the budget 2024." Hey, why not? Let's just fake it a little bit. Um, and of course, there is no attachment, no links, nothing. So all the systems which are designed to spot the other phishing and social engineering type of attacks are silent. For them, there is nothing happens. This is plain text. Great. So now, Przemek, I'm going to use you as my second counterpart of the attack. So Przemek is seeing the email, and basically, it's already late in the evening, responding from a smartphone, which is a little bit harder to find out from who is coming the email from, and responding, "Hey, I did not receive any attachment. Resend it." So immediately, in a minute or so, you're receiving, Przemek, another email with the lovely, it looks really great, lovely fake email of the other SharePoint, which tells exactly budget 2024 updated version doc. All right. So since you are already, let's call this, your mind is prepped. So psychologically, you are expecting the email. So what you will do? Let me ask you a question. As a human being, what you will do if you will have a SharePoint link with the document which you ask? Probably you will not click, but hey.
So usually I sometimes receive some strange links for SharePoint too. So I think that in this case I will check what can happen, but will not open it.
So there is a thing. Unfortunately, with the organization in question, it was a larger organization, and that was pretty much a shotgun approach. Most of the people received that email. So there were a few individuals who basically decided, "Hey, that must be important. I will work on that document." And sure enough, click on the link, and what happened? Next thing is, of course, lovely prepared website which ask for your user credentials, which is Microsoft Office 365, and and the password. Guess what happened? Of course, few individuals actually went through that, and what people will say. So, what about MFA? Did you guys actually hear about this? Yes, we actually had it. We actually had a push technology for multi-factor authorization, by a different company provided, which is very good technology. It's a frictionless, well received info by the end users. Unfortunately, after some time of usage, people are tend to be used to those pop-ups. Are you are opening it from that location or not? So that again, out of those people who provide the user ID and password, there is just few who provide the other also secondary two-factor authentication allowed via access. Since then, attacker launched another email, but inside the actual organization. So now the rest of the organization had no chance to actually spot the fake phishing email, since it was internal email address already. What happened next? It was a fast, rapid attack, and the events were um, going through the other Office 365 accounts. Then we used the other solution for single sign-on SSO. So next few minutes, the compromise went to the other system used by employees for HR-related information. And within a minutes, you had already compromised accounts where they were changing the other direct deposits. Uh, what's interesting, attack was actually on Thursday, a day before actual paycheck which was issued. And since it was in the States, obviously most of the people were signed by the with the direct deposit ACH. So changing the other account numbers would ended up with the with um, uh, sending money to wrong account. Okay, so what happened? We actually spotted. My team actually spotted the other this issue in the within the other hour. So not bad. We were able to actually first remove all those emails from everyone's mailboxes. So that was fun to receive later on. Emails. Hey, I've seen email disappear on my eyes. What happened? I had to explain to the other business why we actually went through the others very strict countermeasures. And then we had a team in collaboration with IT and collaboration with a HR. We were able to identify of the other which accounts were compromised, and we were lucky to actually change the other direct deposits accounts back to the original and restore to the other normal state. So let's say no harm done. In fact, as it's a saying in the security, never get to waste a bad situation. I was able to push hard for the other two-factor authentication based on the OTP, which is one-time password. I'm a strong believer that those changing six numbers every 1 minute is better than the push. So with the big pain in the organization, it was adopted, and essentially that tells you how dangerous it is. It's its impact could be much bigger if we will not respond quickly. So people were working until late night to resolve the issue and go back to normal operation. So two things. Luckily, the company had the security team. Secondly, we actually noticed it quickly enough, and we were able. The third one, it was to quickly recover from the incident. So that's the
So,
ghost from the past.
so maybe something from current times.
All right, ghost of the present. So the guys, ghost of the present. I would say actually the other ChatGPT. That's actually um, um, uh, technology which is I think it's a great technology to use for a personal business use as a, let's call this language personal assistant. But like with anything else in the life, what's good, it can also have the dark side. And the other, it's already being used by cyber criminals to make the other phishing emails and the phishing spoofs more real. So in that, I'm not sure how many of you had a pleasure of the attend to those lovely security trainings. Sometimes there are 1-2 minutes short videos. Some of them are simulation by run by security teams. But in essence, there were always in the past look for grammar, look for a proper language, look for certain indication to find that this is actually phishing email. With ChatGPT, what it actually opens, it opens up the perfectly well written text, which can be targeted for specific organization with a sense of urgency. And even better, it can be translated to multiple languages. So now attacker has a ability to attack the other employees in the different locations, writing in their own native tongue. So that's the other, I will say, the biggest challenge for a security experts will be now to actually deal with the with much better, higher quality content. The attack vector doesn't change. It doesn't really. It's not like something completely new. Still, it's based on creating a fear or creating a sense of urgency for a recipient and expecting certain action.
Okay, I'm scared of Chat GPT. So I think that people will believe what they read more than a university professor. So it will be very hard future, yes, for us, I think. Maybe now we can talk something about deepfakes. The first question is, what are deepfakes? Because very often people are using such kind of words, but some people don't understand them.
Absolutely, deepfakes is it's something which is amazing technology. I think it's being used. It's not something new, but it's being used for some time quite successfully, and it is essentially most common. You can even by googling it, you can see that it's a replacing a video with with someone else face or entire body posture. So it's basically impersonating a video. um, Now, this technology is very CPU, very compute power intense. So I will say we are still not in the other deep fake prime. So let's call this a ghost of the future. However, I'm not sure if you heard or seen personally in the past the deep fake related to the other President Obama or President Trump. Was such a fun movies circulating on the web. Now on the deep fakes, we have a subcategory which is interesting enough. We have also shallow fakes, and which is a slightly different flavor. And we have also the voice cloning. Voice cloning is actually something which I would say is the closest to the other potential threat right now as a emerging technology. In fact, I believe last year there was already a documented cyber attack on the other German company, German branch, which someone cloned the voice of CEO and requested a close to 200 millions of US dollars in payment. And apparently that went without any problems to Hungarian banks. So it's already happening. As far as the deepfakes, well, let's say changing the other. I would love to have the other fast enough computer and being able to actually change myself right now uh, and present myself as a Przemysław, so basically clone myself. Unfortunately, not happening. But guys, just use the imagination for a moment and picture that suddenly you are having two guys talking from two separate locations, and they look very much alike. Of course, technology is not perfect yet, and yeah, you can see Uh, in the past, it was experts which are spending hours on the other how to detect deep fakes. Is the other they were saying that you can spot video because person is not blinking. So yes, I'm blinking, and now even that is being corrected. So those deepfakes are becoming better and better. I've mentioned also the other shallow fakes. Those are kind of interesting because those are um, actual videos recorded by someone and just manipulated. So in the past, there was a on the web circulating video of the other Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, which was slowed down to the such in such way that her voice sounded like she's slurred, and obviously she was. People told that she's under influence of some substances. So of course there was a manipulation, speeding up or slowing up the video. So, Shemek, what do you think about the deepfakes?
So I have one example which about which I heard 1 year ago, and it happened in Poland. And in this situation, someone faked the voice of CFO from headquarters of one company, and it was about and this deep faked voice called to Polish CFO or Polish branch office that this person should transfer 14 59 million zloty. It means it's about $14 million to other account, and in this case, time was very important because it was connected with big transaction and buying one company from China, and this guy sent 59 million zloty to account of hackers. So probably it was the biggest accident in Poland, but nobody talk about that public, but it happened.
Of course, and this is a what's the most painful about that because it's a people starting to trust or starting to mistrust each other. Now, if you combine the other events such a pandemic where people starting to work remotely, it's less likely that you will check with your fellow colleague on the hallway or in the office that something's going on. It's those deep fakes are becoming, or the other voice cloning becoming more potent as far as the attack goes.
Yes, especially you can imagine situation when you contacted with somebody using, for example, Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google Meet, when the quality of video is not so high. So it could be deep fake, yes, because you know that the internet connection not always is the highest quality. So in this case, it's much easier to make deep fakes.
Absolutely. So how the deepfakes works is actually interesting because it's a two-way process. It's first it's analyzing the other, let's call this victim face, and also the other targeted face is trying to find the other AI. Artificial intelligence is trying to find a common points on the face. Then the second step is actually adding the uh, face feature on the other target video, so it becoming the other face of the other victim is being replaced by attacker. So now I will say it's a hard to accomplish this because it's a sampling. You have to have access to lots of data in terms of the sampling of your photos and videos. So the other I would say the movie stars, they are more prone to the, or the public figures, they are more prone to the deep fakes because there is a plenty of video footage on the market. As far as a person, depending how many Instagram photos and the videos, how many TikTok videos you have, that's the other. So how much data, how much personal data you gave away before, that may actually be a potential attack on you. We're talking about a big company CFO. But guys, picture this: that your mom, sister, father, who just put the other relative in the placeholder, calling you on a WhatsApp or other instant messenger and saying, look, I'm in the other critical situation. I need to have the other $5,000 sent right away. Best in the crypto. That's giveaway will be the crypto if it will be grandfather or grandma, right? But could happen.
Yes, it's true. So I think that this is the time when we should always think what we publish in social media. So it means that if we publish a lot of photos or videos with our face, so it's not a secure situation for us. So this is the main point of our meeting. But I have another question to you. How we can protect against these risks? The first point is not publish such kind of videos and photos, but what else?
That's an excellent question. Funny thing is, I will say because we're talking about AI. One of the things is a answer is to use AI. So there are another projects which are analyzing the videos to detect the deepfakes. However, this is something which is again it functions better for a public figures because they have a lot of data sampling, so they can actually do this better. For a personal usage, there is a not much of the other protection from the other AI solution as I know of. And yeah, I can think of for example, if someone is asking me to send some message or leak some data, because we're talking about financial leakage or financial impact by requesting payments. But what if I work for some research and development or on some very tight and secret project, and I'm being asked to send the documents of the project to someone else. And I will say this is something which you, Przemek, is you are quite familiar. It's a encrypting the using a technology ahead of time to encrypt all the messages and have the encryption done in such way that even if it's leaked outside, it's still a gibberish. So um, knowing that you can actually protect a sensitive data, and you should always encrypt. And I have one of the t-shirt which I purchased on Amazon long time ago, and it's saying that dance like nobody is watching, encrypt like everyone is. And this is very true. So guys, this is again not a single silver bullet solution, but it's a one of the layers. Of course, pay attention to the other deep fakes. Start look on the other technology, which is being used slowly, but surely it will be in the prime. What I've read is right now, it requires a high, very good graphic cards and the high-end desktop or workstation computers. So we are still a bit ahead of our times, but I don't want to even guess how much time we have. Do we have a 6 months? Do we have a 1 year, 2 years? I don't want to even say 5 years because probably I will shoot myself in the knee. So figure out, know your business, know your processes, find the other kill switch where you can actually how you can stop certain attacks and add maybe some method of verification to the process. As long as you know your process, you can find the other additional methods of verification.
Okay, it means zero trust, yes. So I think that this is good time for making questions to Michael. So if somebody has any question to Michael, this is good time to write it on chat. But at this moment, I have question to Michael. What about the future? Yes, because we can expect more danger, cyber attacks, different situation. What do you think? What will happen in next 5 years?
It will be more complicated, and I will say we are doomed. No, we're not. There is always always balance. If there is a attack technology emerging, and yeah, the other technology will start also solve the problem. However, uh, I will say talk about the issue, train the other employees. As long if people don't even know that some threat like this exists, by the way, thank you, Lucian, then it's much easier to get trust and get spoofed by deepfakes. So this is the topic which is not in general discussed by many professionals. Should be. Same thing with ChatGPT. Start changing the other your security, your cybersecurity awareness program to address the other perfect language, to make sure that people are paying more attention, and quite honestly analyze past attacks and how it can be how your organization can be protected. I will say I personally am strong believer of phishing simulation. Maybe it's a time to do the other deepfake simulation, or not even deepfakes. Just pretend to do the deepfake, but do the simulation of the some malicious activity, which should not be a part of the process. In fact, that should be. If I'm thinking right now of that, it will be much easier to do the deepfake simulation than actual deepfake attack, because we can basically just put someone as a, of course, with assistance of the mostly high-ranking C-level people in the company, but requesting this kind of payment, and let's see what person will actually do. Train, train your personnel, and the train again.
Okay, I see that someone is typing probably a question, but I would like to say our audience that next CypherCast will be on 19th May, and this event will be our guest will be Łukasz Gawron, who is president of Cyber Made in Poland cluster. This cluster connect Polish cybersecurity companies. This event will be on 19th of May. But now, if somebody has questions to Michael, this is very good time to ask. I see that somebody is typing. Oh, we have question of Tomasz. It looks that from company perspective, the human is the weakest link to security chain. Can we protect with any software except training employees?
Um, yes, so there is of course, there is already plenty of good vendors who are addressing the issue with uh, current issues with the other with related to social engineering, related to business email security. So there are some gateways which are getting better and better. They are using also AI algorithms to spot potentially malicious emails. Like I said before, since it's being hosted Cypherdog, encrypt. Seriously, guys, it doesn't have to be Cypherdog. Sorry, Przemek, but any sort of encryption is better than none. And I'm actually kind of thinking about that. It's except the other training employees. Well, you can replace employees with AI. That will be rather crude a joke on everyone, but yes, it's a with to, in order to protect employees from AI threats, you need to start investing in the AI technology. That's unfortunately the other answer.
Okay, so I would like to talk something about training because people think that trainings could be boring, yes, because there are not only tests or some boring content. It could be made with virtual reality, for example. Last week we were on the event when one of Polish company present own system of training people when you are hacker and you can make some attack to virtual attack to company. It was very interesting. Okay, so there is a question of Lucian, but isn't it important to use encryption when you maintain your private key? Zero trust encryption, yes?
Yes, so that's actually a wonderful question. So yes, depending of the how the keys are exchanged, right? So if you exchange ahead of time key with your trusted and verified people, and they use the keys back in the day, we're talking about when the people were very excited talking about the sending missions on the Mars, not Mars, the moon. I'm sorry, and the and when the NASA computer was as powerful as my cell phone nowadays, but people are actually exchange secrets by sending someone with the other with envelopes or sending the others private keys way ahead of actually sending a message. So this is a very good question. How you actually is all encryption good? It's better than none, but if you actually providing the also way to decrypt, I think I don't remember whose solution it is, but one of the other big vendors are encrypting emails and then sending you either text message or another email. Well, it's good. It means that email will be not decrypted in transit, but let's call this address what it's get back to the mailbox of recipient, and when you actually already have instruction how to decrypt it, if that other mailbox is compromised, doesn't matter if you encrypt it or not. So think through of the what's working for your business and what's the other good encryption methodology.
So from my side, encryption is the future because we know that there is a lot of processes and with a lot of documents or other content we should encrypt. So in Cypherdog's encryption, we are based on asymmetric encryption, and only owner of private key can decrypt message or file. And if you encrypt your mail, uh, this content and this attachment is always encrypted on email server and or on your mail client. So encrypt, please encrypt. So I think that we can go to the end of our meeting. Maybe at the end, Michael, you have something to tell our audience.
Well, first of all, thank you for all the audience to stay with us and listen to us. It was absolute pleasure. And guys, just stay vigilant, stay alerted. And you know what? The best thing is subscribe to the other some podcasts, some the other channels. We're actually discussing the new way of the other how the attackers, how the criminals targeting people, and you will be way ahead of the others.
So thank you, Michael, for being our guest on today's CypherCast. As I mentioned before, we will see next time on 19th May. So thank you, our audience, for attending this event. Bye. Have a nice afternoon and evening.
Thanks, guys.